Hold up guys, there's a new crypto scam in town, and not enough people are talking about it. If you want to minimize your chances of losing money this cycle, then you gotta understand what's going on. But here's the thing, it's not just one coin or project that I'm referring to. No, it's a whole category of projects that's designed to fleece retail investors like you and I. And I'm pretty sure that most of y'all own at least one of these coins. The scam is this new wave of VC coins that have some of the most predatory tokenomics I've ever seen. They're designed to rope you in and trick you into buying them while the VCs are dumping them behind the scene. It's a really sophisticated trap that they don't want you to know about. I'm here to expose it all. I'm gonna name names and share a bunch of projects that do these things. You'll know what to watch out for and can avoid being exit liquidity for the whales. All right, let's jump right in. And the first red flag that you gotta be on the lookout for are what I call fake locked tokens. In order to understand what I mean by that, you gotta know how token vesting works. That basically has to do with how tokens are distributed over time. Like vesting makes it so that insiders, like VCs or team members, can't immediately dump their tokens. So it aligns the interests of these insiders with the long-term success of their project, because they have to work hard to make sure that their token retains its value by the time that they can sell. So this all sounds great, right? Like, where's the problem? Well, that's how vesting is supposed to work. And in the past, that's how it did work, but things have changed. There's a slew of shiny new tokens which have found a deceitful way around their own vesting schedules. That's right, they figured out how to sell their locked tokens.
Impossible.
Well, there's a loophole that they're cleverly exploiting. These projects are letting their insiders stake their locked tokens, and they're earning really high yields on their massive stake. So that lets them receive fully unlocked tokens in the form of staking rewards. And guess what? Since those are unlocked, they can be dumped immediately. This is exactly what Aptos is doing. And if you dig deeper, you'll see that they even admitted to it in their own blog post. But before you start yelling at Aptos, just know that they're not alone. There's also Celestia, Chainflip, and Dimension, just to name a few, all of which have found ways to dump their fake locked tokens. So I gotta say, this is truly outrageous and unethical. It could be the biggest grift in crypto I've seen this cycle. But it gets worse, because not only are the insiders using this to dump on us, but they're also being super shady with how their vesting schedules are represented in the first place. So that's the second red flag that you gotta watch out for, and it's the teams lying about their tokenomics. A high-profile example of this is the Layer 1 blockchain Sui. Its market cap is currently sitting around all-time highs, even though the price of their token is down over 50% in the past 6 weeks. That's because the token supply keeps on inflating, and yet the team wouldn't publish an official emissions chart for the longest time. Instead, they pointed people to an unofficial chart created by the Binance Launchpad. The problem is that some people noticed that the Binance chart isn't even accurate, and that it way understated the amount of new tokens coming into circulation. So the Sui team was confronted about this on Discord, and they even admitted that the Binance chart wasn't reliable, but they still didn't give an official chart of their own until months later. I don't know about you, but I think that was super shady and a really bad look coming from such a big project. We have the right to know the true tokenomics of what we invest in. That's only fair. So when you see a team misrepresenting their tokenomics like that, I would recommend staying far, far away. Now, that brings us to the third red flag to look out for when it comes to these VC coins. And that's the games that they're playing with their FDV, or fully diluted valuations. I don't know if you remember, but a lot of people were going around crypto Twitter earlier this year trying to downplay the importance of FDV. FDV is a meme, they'd say. And hey, I'll admit it, I believed that too during the peak FOMO stage of the bull market. But that has really burned me, and now I understand the true importance of this metric. I mean, just take a look at this Celestia chart. Their token is down over 50% from its highs earlier this year. And one potential explanation for that drop is its bloated valuation. You see, TIA has a market cap of around 1.8 billion, which is already quite high. But when you take into account its fully diluted valuation, that comes in at over 10 billion, which is massive. To put that into perspective, their full valuation puts them on par with iconic brands like Swatch and Ralph Lauren, Or Silicon Valley tech companies like Twilio, which has over 8,000 employees. So now when I think about it, I feel like the FDV is a meme saying it's just a way to try to get retail to buy into overpriced tokens. If there's a low circulating supply, that means that there's a bunch of token inflation about to hit us, and we never want to be holding on to those for the long haul. And the craziest example that I can think of all this has got to be WorldCoin. Check this out, only 2% of their total supply is currently in circulation. That means there's another 98% that has yet to hit the market. And you know that a lot of it will hit the market as they're consistently giving out new coins to people who scan their eyeballs. As you can imagine, a lot of them are gonna dump it for cold hard cash as soon as they can. So that's why when you look at the FDV of this thing, it's absolutely bonkers. WorldCoin has a fully diluted valuation of over $57 billion. That's not too far from OpenAI itself, and it makes WorldCoin the 5th highest valued cryptocurrency if we sort by FDV after only Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Binance. So with all this in mind, I just don't see how their World token can continue performing in the long haul. And the important takeaway here is that FDV does matter. It's not a meme, and don't let anyone convince you otherwise. Okay, so we've covered a bunch of red flags so far, but now I got to expose what these VC coins are doing with airdrops. So pay attention. But wait, aren't airdrops just free money? How in the world can that be a bad thing? Well, if you just sell your airdrop and that's that, then maybe it's fine. But if you get caught up in the hype and buy more, then that could be a huge mistake. You see, these airdrops are mainly a marketing tactic at the end of the day. And when there's a bunch of hype on social media around a new airdrop, a lot of that buzz is paid for by the project itself. Also, don't forget that these airdrop systems are easily manipulated and gamed. So you gotta be aware that insiders could be farming their own airdrops in order to dump on the public. Anyways, I'm not saying to not participate in them, but next time you hear about a juicy airdrop, just consider that it may be the smarter thing to sell rather than buy more. Just saying. But yeah, honestly, I'm not surprised that these VC grifts exist. They worked for a while and it made them a lot of money, so the incentive was there to continue churning them out. But now that we've caught on, I personally vow to never touch one of these projects again, unless something drastically changes or I have a short-term thesis that I'm gonna swing trade on. But yeah, I hope you see why tokenomics are oh so important, and it's not just about the hype or tech around the project. I want to know what you think though. Let me know in the comments below.